weeks of you not seeing every little detail is not indicative of half a year.
If somebody in the team does nothing for a month,
why would you say nothing? Just because you didn't say.
I'm not saying that this is you. I am just saying, if somebody in the team, not you, somebody else, does nothing for a month, that's very, very, very bad. That means an immediately a dip. This is.
Or maybe they're struggling with something and they could use some help. But you're a terrible person, so you would never think of that.
That happens, yes. If they are having struggle in their personal life, that happens. That has happened to me in the past. A person communicated with me, and we tried to deal with it the best way we could. Are you saying that you're having trouble in your personal life? Is that what you're saying? Or it was just a hypothetical situation?
I was saying that it's a hypothetical situation, okay. But because you always assume the worst and you don't trust me, then of course you would never think of that.
I do think of that. And if that was the case, let me know. But if it's just a hypothetical situation, I'm not going to go into that. Right? We are not going to talk about hypotheticals. We are going to talk about somebody that has no issues and then there's nothing for a month. That would be very bad. Okay? What I'm saying is, since I haven't seen what you did for a month, that is bad enough for me. And now I'm asking you to prove me wrong. If you did lots of work, prove me wrong, right? But what I saw is almost nothing, little communication, and bad behaviors. Bad behaviors, they were impacting the team. Because I had Robin saying, why is Maggie not dealing with incident, coming from Singapore, and then I have to do a call early in the morning, and Mike saying, why do I have to cover some person again while on call? Those are bad behaviors. I cannot allow them to happen.
Okay, well, I don't know why Robin had to do stuff. Well, if somebody would have tagged me, they would have tagged me, but I don't know why not.
I don't know either.
Well, then I don't see why you're counting that as a bad behavior, quote quote, when there was nothing in my power. You know, if somebody had let me know, I would have helped, but nobody let me know. Yeah. Am I supposed to like watch all the incidents coming through and then jump in?
I'm just saying that
I'm just pointing out that again, you're like adding on to list of bad behaviors that is not necessarily like my fault.
Were you communicating with the team?
I was trying to communicate most of the time.
Did you talk to people directly?
About what? Were people talking to me directly? Why was Robin asking you and not me? I don't understand why it's all on me.
About work. Because when Robin asked me what is Maggie doing, and I say, I don't know, I suggest him to talk to you directly. But I don't know if that happens.
No. But again, you know, like, again, there's nothing in this scenario described is within my power unless I ping each and every person every day, or look through all the incidents every day. But again, you're just like, again, making stuff up so you can add to like my bad list.
No, what I'm...
Like, where is this, again, like what is this?
What I'm trying to say is that you were disconnected from the rest of the team.
Yeah, I was in a whole other country.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean, or doesn't necessarily explain that you're completely disconnected. Stan was also there, and I don't know. Find it, but I assume he was in communication.
So you assume, see, here's the thing. You assume Stan is in communication, but you don't assume, you know, that I was doing my best.
I was.
What kind of biased bullshit is this? Why does Stan get the benefit of the doubt?
Biased bullshit. Okay.
I mean, honestly.
You know, you've been shouting at me for an hour.
Well, you hear the way you're talking to me.
Enough. I was trying to be very clear, right? We're going in circles.
Well, you know, at least answer why Stan gets the benefit of the doubt. Oh, I assume Stan is in communication. Why does he just immediately...
I have seen Stan working in incidents and communicating.
Yeah, because he's in the contracts team. Yes. And most incidents get go to contracts.
I could feel his presence there, communicating, doing stuff.
Where? Which incident?
Do you want me to give you a number?
Sure.
I don't remember.
But yeah, you don't remember. So if I don't remember numbers, you go, oh, what did you do? But if you don't remember numbers, it's okay. What does that mean?
I don't know the numbers by heart, right? What I was asking you to do is to gather those incidents, right? To gather those numbers, to gather those links. If I had to do it, I could go through the incidents, I could go through the postmortems and see what Stan did, right? It would be lots of work, but I could do it.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that a tool managers use to measure your performance is to compare you with others, right? Because we are trying to be fair, and there's going to be differences.
Okay, well, it's not necessarily fair if most incidents go to the contracts team and they end up working on it. Whereas, I had that one incident that you were tagged in that Mike worked on, but then didn't work. We had a long weekend, and I was working on that Saturday morning, making sure that everything is okay for Monday when you guys are online, and we had the holiday.
Okay, again, enough of that. I hope I was very clear on what I'm expecting from you in the next few days, next few weeks. If I was not, let me know. If you wanted to talk to Jamika or HR, go ahead and do it. If you think I'm doing a good job, go ahead and do it. And yeah.
Okay.
That's all for me.
Okay.
Sorry about this tough landing.
Well, again, it's not entirely unexpected from you.
No, because you are always expecting the best from me as well.
Well, yeah. Did you hear yourself in the past hour? Oh, I assume Stan was communicating. But you communicate sometimes, and I'm just going to assume you didn't anything for a month. Even though for that month you were on holiday and then you were incredibly sick. I'm just going to round that up to a month, and then I'm going to round it up to 6 months.
You're just cherry picking my words and twisting my message.
Well, you're doing the same with me. I wasn't perfect for maybe 2.5 weeks, and now you're saying oh, since July, blah, blah, blah.
If I send you a message over Slack, a private message, and you don't reply...
Do you know how many things I was dealing with in those last few weeks?
No, I have no clue.
I was over-fucking-whelmed.
I have no clue. I was asking you to surface those to me, to be transparent with me, and you didn't do it. So I have no clue what you did. And the only thing I know is that you were not answering my messages. I'm not happy about that.
Which messages?
Do you want us to go through the Slack messages?
But how many?
There was a specific message. We went through all the messages in the last one-to-one, right? I was showing to you your updates, and I was showing to you my message saying, hey Maggie, this is not clear enough. Can you provide more detail? And then you didn't answer for a few days.
Yeah, because that was when I was sick. Do you know that one Tuesday I was having weird vertigo? Even though while I was standing, I felt like I was on an elevator, which was super weird, right?
If you're sick.
And I literally, that Tuesday, I was trying to form the sentences for the update, but my head just hurt so much that I was just I just gave up, okay? I just couldn't. And I sent you later the draft that I didn't finish. And again, I know you said, oh, this is not clear enough. I literally, on the scheduling channel, scrolled up and I saw updates by other people. which were like one line, you know? And I was like, well, that's okay. You know, I wonder if that person got, what do you call this, picked apart because that was a one line update. I don't know. Am I the only one you don't trust, or is it everybody? I don't know, but it seems to be just, again, it's not good for morale to be constantly treated like a fucking criminal.
That is not true, Maggie.
What's not true?
That is not true. I was allowing you. I was soft with you in the beginning of the year, and I was accommodating with your ask. I was happy in general with what you were doing. I even got you a salary raise because we were talking about that, and I said, okay, if you keep delivering, I'll get you a salary raise. It was hard to get that, right? I didn't have many things to show to Jamaica and to Gio to say, okay, Maggie deserves this. It was really hard. But I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, and I was doing something for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having a salary rise is not something that is benefiting me at all, right? So you cannot say, I'm always having no trust, I'm always, being suspicious with you.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I think you just did that because I went directly to Gio.
Sorry, say again?
I thought you only did that because I went directly to Gio and I asked, hey, Julian told me that my performance for the entire year was not good enough. Well, I think his performance for the entire year was not good enough, and he got a promotion. How come I didn't? That's what I said.
Your raise didn't come from you. It came from me.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I thought that you only did it because I went directly to Gio.
No, I didn't do it for that. I did it because I wanted to trust you and to give you the benefit of the doubt, do something nice for you, and I was expecting to get value from you, right? I was expecting you to get work done after that.
And again, as far as I'm concerned, the only part where it's not completely visible was maybe 2.5 weeks. And yeah, I admit the holiday was a fuck up where I didn't realize that I was on call. That was me just not looking ahead. That was my bad. Yeah, I mean, that was, I actually didn't realize that it was so busy over here. Because at some point in the second month of the rotation, I found it very hard to keep track of Singapore news and London news, and I just thought I just needed to set some boundaries because I was getting overwhelmed by having to keep track of too much stuff. So I didn't know that you guys were all busy. So,
Wow.
But again, I don't feel like it's warranted. I don't know how you're placing this, but I don't think, if I was a perfect quote for 2-3 weeks, I don't think it's warranted that like this. I don't think this is completely warranted. And I don't think you should be mentioning pips just because of 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's completely out of proportion.
Okay. Well, that's your view. I have a different view.
Yeah, of course, and only your view matters. I know.
How would you feel if you had to change your personal plans and do on-call rotation on a week's notice?
I mean, I did that. My first on-call rotation, I covered for somebody on Easter at very short notice.
But were you offered the opportunity to do that, or were you forced to do that? Because I didn't have the choice last weekend. I didn't have it. It was nobody else.
Okay, but this is what, a day and a half or 2?
This is my weekend. It is my weekend. For you, perhaps you don't give a shit, but it's my weekend, and I do value my personal time, right? Because I'll be on call over Christmas as well.
Okay, but is this thing warranting you saying I have bad behaviors for however long? I mean, is this proportional?
This is one thing among 3 or 4 things that I already mentioned, and I'm not going to do it again.
Okay, but again, is this proportional?
I don't know.
I mean, if you've already written me off, why should I work hard for the next 2 weeks?
Well, if you don't do it, which is an option, then we'll start a PIP in January.
What's it? Don't do what?
If you don't work hard in the next 2 weeks, then there's going to be a PIP in January. This is a warning. If you don't deliver in the next 2 weeks, then there's going to be a PIP.
Okay, and this is proportional.
If you think it is not, again, we can go to HR, we can go to Jamaica and speak with them and perhaps double check if this is proportional or not. I think it is. You think it is not.
Well, I mean, again, if you're just judging, I don't know how long, is this what, a quarter's worth? Is this a quarter's worth of a PIP or what? Then if you're judging this PIP on like what, the next 2 weeks and maybe the past 3 weeks, then I would feel like the past few months would have been wasted, because why did I do all that work?
Because it's your job.
Yeah, but then again, you
You're
know,
supposed to
if
work.
I'm not like,
You're supposed
if
to
I
work.
have an off like week or so and
Marie, you're supposed to work hard every day, right? This is why
I'm not a
you're-
robot. Sometimes I don't feel good.
What kind of answer is that? I'm not a robot.
Okay, yes, I'm supposed to work hard every day, but if I don't feel good, I cannot. Does that make sense?
I am not asking you to work hard every minute. Right? I do understand that we need up and down times, right? And I'm measuring things over days and weeks and months, right? Not every day. I'm not telling you yesterday you did nothing. This is not me telling you yesterday you did nothing. I don't know what you did yesterday. I'm not saying you did nothing. I'm not saying anything, right? I'm just saying I don't know what you did yesterday. I'm not measuring that. What I'm measuring is what happened in the last few weeks and months. And I'm saying, if I go back to late summer, to now, I don't know what you did.
That is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That is ridiculous because I felt like I was working hard. And if you're just discarding that, then, you know, again.
You're feeling you're working hard. My feeling is that you are not working hard. So we're disagreeing here.
When do you start late summer? July?
If we look at APA errors, I think you started working on that late July. I may be wrong, but off the top of my head, I think it was late July when you started working on that.
Okay. And you're saying now you're saying I have not been working hard since late July. Even though I did all the updates every day.
Showing up to the standard and saying, I've been working in a query from Phoenix, it is something that I'm not going to challenge in the standard. I'm not going to tell you or ask you what exactly you did for Phoenix, right? But on the other hand, inside of my head, is like, what is going on? What is this query from Phoenix, right? I have no clue what that is. I don't know if that takes you 1 hour or 7 days. I have no clue, right? And I'm just saying, I was just thinking to myself, okay, if there are all these incidents and queries and stuff, let's gather all of them into a...
Okay, again, remember how there was one incident you and Mike were tagged in, right?
Yes.
Mike said, oh, it's been mitigated, went away. Was it mitigated? No, right? I spent from like 10:30 until 4 checking and double checking every query that I ran before actually doing it.
I do remember that.
And you know, again, and I was like in a flow for the entire time. Do I have to report each and every check that I did?
No, I do remember that. And
right?
I know you were working on that.
I mean,
for a couple of days.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, right? That like ate up most of the day. I basically actually mitigated it maybe around 4, and then after that I was communicating with people. That was an entire day.
Yes.
Do I have to report each and every activity that I did, each and every query? Because I didn't want to be like somebody who would just go, oh yeah, it's done, I'm done. It's not actually done. I check, double check, triple check everything. Especially because people like you doubt me all the time, so I don't want to fuck up, right? People like me who are always being doubted, I have to triple check everything, which takes a long time, right?
I have visibility of that.
Of what? My DB queries?
I had visibility that you were working on that incident for those 2 days. I had visibility on that.
Okay, no, I'm right now I'm talking about the update. You're saying me just saying I worked on this query and then you don't know what happened, right?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, okay, fine, fair enough. But like, I was checking like all these queries for an entire day because I was working on production and I wanted to make sure I didn't fuck up because it's production, right? I mean, am I supposed to report like each query that I wrote? Do I have to like paste my DB history? I don't understand how much detail you want. And I don't understand what part of it do I have to write, make visible,
What I was trying to say is that the fact that you show up to the stand-up in the first month and a half you were in Singapore, the fact that you show up and you say, I've been working in this query, in this incident, doesn't prove anything to me, right? I accept that update, right?
But why doesn't it not prove anything to you?
I trust that you're working on something, right?
But you clearly don't.
I didn't challenge that at that time, but what I was asking you at the end of the rotation is, Maggie, could you please gather all the incidents that you...
Yeah, and now it's ended, and now I can do it. And I told you that when I was there. I will do it after, because I'm here and there's so much stuff.
Okay, if you could do that.
Okay, so do you want that or API errors? How much API errors do you want done? Because
I want both.
I cannot do both in 2 weeks.
Try to work on both. Do your time management. You could perhaps work or spend 1 day doing this summary. 1 day is more than enough to gather enough information, I hope.
I don't know. I don't know what enough information is to you. And like I said, I'm not naturally a writer. I have to like split this up.
I'm sure there's going to be FOMOs and there's going to be data to trace incidents. And if you did PRs, I'm sure they're going to be there. They're very easy to find through Fabricator, right? If you gather a few links for me with FOMOs and with PRs, that shouldn't take you long, right? I'm not asking you to write a book. I'm asking you to write a one-pager gathering all these. And this is something I asked the last one-to-one and in the previous one. And I still don't have it. I was asking you this specifically for you to prove me wrong, right? I was trying to protect you. I was saying, Maggie, prepare this because when I'm going to be asked about what you did in Singapore, I need to have something. Right? If I have to write some impact report, some impact score now about what Maggie did in the last quarter, at the moment I have absolutely nothing. And I was asking you to do this because I need it. I need that input to do my job, and I don't have it. And now you think I am coming from mistrust and just thinking that you're doing nothing. Well, I was asking you to give me this information.
Yeah, and I told you while I was there, I'll do it after.
I was asking you to do it as soon as possible, really. So when I say that, I expect that to be one of your top priorities. And if you could spend 3 hours less doing that final TMF presentation and have something for me, this is what I was expecting, right? What you cannot do is totally neglect what I asked you to do because you are doing something else.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because I was doing something else.
You have to manage your priorities. If I ask you to do something, I expect them to be done. You cannot just cherry pick. TMF presentation is gonna be my top priority. Anything
Well,
else,
yeah, because I was there.
a TMF presentation doesn't provide